Hey everybody, it's Cassie here, and we're rendering tallow today. I got a huge bag of tallow from a local farmer that processes, they get their meat processed at the local processing plant, and then they sell their tallow. I have gone through and I've tried to remove all the meaty portions of the tallow. So all the portions that are dark or have any large amounts of veining or anything through that, I put in a pot for our personal tallow that we use for cooking. And then I get a huge pot for the tallow we use in our skincare. I put about 2 cups of water in here, and we're going to wet render this down. And then once this is all liquid, and if there's any bits, it'll float to the top, and we can scoop those out with a slotted spoon very easily. And then we are going to do our first render of the skincare tallow, and we'll put that in a big stainless steel bowl. And then we'll let it solidify, we'll check it, pour off the water, the tallow will float to the top, the water will be on the bottom, and in between, we may even get a little bit of a gelatin. Save that, because it's amazing for all kinds of things, especially for skincare. You can take the gelatin, it's a natural collagen. So all of this tallow that has the meaty portions will go in pot number 2. And then we are going to add about 1.5 cups water to that. We're going to render it down. We'll scoop out the meaty portions as well. The little bits of meat will float to the top. And then once that is all nice and rendered down, I'll throw it in some jars after we've removed all the meaty portions. And then once I've thrown it in jars, I take those mason jars. And do I have one? I don't have one right here. Anyways, I take a mason jar and you put the lid on tight and you turn it upside down. The next day, your water, you flip it, will be on the top. Because why? The tallow always floats to the top. And then when you turn the jar upside down, the water will be on the top of the jar. It's just perfect. So if I can do a little video and show you, I will try. So this is how we render our tallow. The skin tallow, I'll render probably a couple of times. And if it's really meaty smelling, we can put in a little bit of baking soda to help deodorize that. But the tallow that we use for day-to-day eating, that tallow, we're just going to render it down once, so that way we make sure it's just clean enough to go in a jar, and then you could put that jar once you've got the water out of it, and it'll stay on the shelf forever. Now, bye.